Hey friends, happy Wednesday. I wanted to jump on. I've had quite a few check-in calls with both clients and coaches today. And I was having a conversation with two clients actually today about the program and the success they've had, which celebrating a ton of scale and non-scale victories today. But I also don't think I talk enough about the people who maybe struggle on program. And this goes for Andrew and myself too. Like there's no such thing as a perfect coach. There's no such thing as somebody who has like this perfect health journey. If you think that exists, or if you're seeing somewhere where that exists, that's just not accurate, right? Like we all have our struggles and emotional band-aids where we use food for some reason, right? And as I was talking to two people today, they were talking about how they struggled quite a bit this past week. So much so that they just kind of threw it all out the window and just said, screw it this week. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want to follow the program. They were just going through a lot of stuff. And the stuff they were going through is just this like emotional baggage, right? Because I always tell folks, food is not the issue. It's the reason why we go to food that's the issue. And as I was thinking about like the goals that people set for themselves, we are so quick to give up on our goals for one little setback. And I came across a quote last week and it said, giving up on your goal because of one setback is like slashing all of your tires because you have one flat. And you guys, when we fail or we stumble, it's not something where you want to give everything up and chuck it out the window. In fact, failing gives you opportunities to learn from those mistakes, right? Because it's easy to give up. Everybody can give up on anything, right? Like, oh, that's a challenge. I can't be 100% at that. I'm just going to stop doing that, right? Because I can't be number one. Or I don't have that skill. I don't want to take the time to develop it. So I'm not even going to attempt to, right? I'm not a public speaker. I don't want to get in front of a room and even practice public speaking. I'm not a speaker. Like suddenly we put like these boundaries on ourselves of what we're capable of doing, which sucks because everybody's capable of accomplishing whatever it is they want to accomplish if they set their mind to it. So the giving up part, super easy. In fact, I would even argue it's the easy way out, right? Like you're giving up on yourself only because you were challenged and you were put in a tough spot that made you uncomfortable. We don't want to get uncomfortable, right? So we love this comfort zone of feeling safe and secure and, not worrying about what people think of us. And so we just don't even attempt to do things. Except that's where the change really happens, is when you don't give up on yourself and you keep trying and you push through those challenges. And so when folks join our program, it's hard, right? Everybody comes into this with different levels of food addiction, you guys, and food's an addiction. You've heard me say it before, whether we want to admit it or not. And it's one of the hardest addictions to break because it's socially acceptable, right? It's not like alcohol or drugs where some folks can stop cold turkey or, do their AA or NA programs and they have a support system just like we do. But they usually stop, right? Like if they're really successful and hopefully they don't pick up the addiction again. Well, for us, it's food, and food is celebration, it's stress relief, it's entertainment, like you name it, it's just a little bit of everything. But what's hard is when people want to chuck their whole day out the window because they failed once. And it's not even failed, they made a choice. Maybe you can even say they made a mistake. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But don't throw your whole day out the window or your whole week out the window because you made one mistake. That's so silly. Why are you slashing all 4 of your tires? Don't do that. You only need to change one. So think of that about your goals, right? Whether it's career-wise, you applied for a position, you're like, oh, didn't get that job. I guess I'm done applying for positions, or a promotion that you're working towards. Like whatever it is, if you hit a roadblock and something happens, keep going. The only reason why other people are successful is because they didn't stop when they hit some of those challenges and go the easy route and just gave up on themselves. So don't be the person that gives up on yourself, even if you hit a speed bump. Keep going, because I promise you it will pay off. And especially with our program, as we're learning to eat 6 times a day and make it really simple for folks, it can come with its challenges, especially environmental challenges or those saboteurs we have in our friends and our family who say, oh, it's just a drink, or oh, it's just a bite of cake. Whatever it is, we will always be challenged, but don't chuck your whole day for one slip up. just not worth it. So thinking about that quite a bit today, as I've talked to a couple people who they really struggled and just kind of blew the whole week. But it's good. We learn from our mistakes. So they will be better prepared for next week or the rest of this week, really, as they come across those challenges. But I thought that was a really cool quote. And I'm curious how many of you take the easy way out and just give up and blow your day or blow your goal because you had a minor setback. Get back on track. I promise you it is well worth it. All right, you guys, have a good night.